20% of that, that's $1,600, and I paid $3,000 to get there. So I'm
yeah,
just kind of
I know.
laying that on in the beginning.
Yeah, we often we will set a baseline of what your business was before we came on board and expect to deliver an ROI of 200 to 300% above that baseline, so that our marketing is paying for itself and still contributing to your revenue and your bottom line.
Right.
So, like I said, I'd like to before we hang up today, have an arrangement for us to go to have us look at your Google Analytics. You'll need to set me up in that, and we won't do it right now. So I'll have tighter information when
my partner before I give you full access for that, just to make sure he's in agreement with it as well. I don't
That's
think it'll
fine.
be a problem.
Yeah, typically nobody has a problem giving that to me, and you can turn it off as soon as our meeting's over.
Gotcha.
Okay. So what I noticed first is that you have very little content on your homepage. And this doesn't say like Pawleys Island, South Carolina, vacation rentals. So you really want for Google to triangulate exactly what it is that you have to offer and where you have to offer it. So when I look at your...
Jump in real quick right away on that, because I have been wondering if we sort of decided to have a primary homepage and then a homepage for vacation rentals and a homepage for real estate. And we're just wondering, is that working against us? Or, you know, to have, I think so. Because I know there was a question about that with BDS when they first designed it. They were saying, well, that sounds like a great idea, let's try it. And the way they said it was, you know, let's just see and look back and review. And we never did get a look back and review kind of to see if that was working for us or against us, to have like a primary page and then a separate home page for vacation rentals and a separate home page for real estate. So there's 3 landing pages to our website.
It's fine to have landing pages. Like this is a company similar to yours in as much as they're beach and they also have real estate. So here you can look at their vacation rentals, and then you can go to their real estate.
And they have a home page for each, landing page. Or the primary home page.
It looks like a home page, yeah. Okay. It behaves similarly to a home page, but this is the home page of the website is a vacation rental page. In as much as there's only one home page, right?
All of our competitors in our area, their home page is their vacation rental page, even if they do real estate sales. So I don't know. I was wondering.
Okay, well, let me just continue because I don't want to go too far down one rabbit hole. Because if we decide to partner together, we would just give you recommendations on how to what your sitemap should be. Okay. But as we look up here, so let's just look at the tabs when I hover up here. This says Adagio Santa Rosa Beach Vacation Rentals in Blue Mountain Beach. This says Aspen Snowmass Luxury Rentals and Real Estate, Aspen Signature Properties. This one, Park City, Utah. We have Outer Banks Vacations, Outer Banks, North Carolina Rentals, Shoreline OBX. And then 30A Condo Rentals, Your Friend at the Beach. So this one does, so they don't all say Florida, but one of the things I just look for is let Google know exactly where you're at. And even though it doesn't say it on the tab, welcome to the Emerald Coast of Florida. So this is written for the human eye, but it's very much an SEO enhanced for Google. We want Google to know what you have to offer, where you have to offer it, and not just your town, you know, Pawleys Island, South Carolina, but if it's called anything, like these guys are called the Emerald Coast. If you're near a state park, if you're near certain beaches, so like Crystal Beach, Blue Mountain Beach, Santa Rosa Beach, this is all good information for a person who's looking to plan their vacation, so it's not going to irritate anybody in that regard, but it's really good for Google because now Google's like, all right, if anybody's looking for anything near Blue Mountain Beach, I can offer up this website. But you have to put the words on the page in order for Google to make that connection. Google does not read pictures. So you tracking with me there?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think there's a big opportunity to tell your story better on your homepage, really start to get somebody to imagine, you know, having their family vacation there. let's see here. You are secure. That's good. Let me see what's your mobile view look like. It's responsive. That's good. A lot of buttons. We find that buttons can work, but not as well as you would think on mobile. So what we do is we offer a mixture of buttons and interlinking text, and our buttons are swipeable. We designed for mobile first. Here we have our buttons here, and it's kind of a breakup of text and a call to action and a picture, and text and a call to action and a picture. Keeps people wanting to just keep scrolling down, if you will, okay? The other thing that I think happened is, I'm not sure, I should just ask the question. When you decided to come off the OTAs, did you make a plan for how you were going to replace that website traffic?
How we're going to replace what? I didn't hear that last.
When we came off the VRBO, when we let the listings go on VRBO, did we make an alternative plan?
No.
Okay. So we have, this customer in particular came to us and said, I'm tired of the OTAs picking my pocket. I want off. He's got 30 properties. He's in a highly competitive area. And for him, he's like, I'm going to have to pay the OTAs and pay you at the same time until you can get me off the OTAs. And so he knew that he was going to have to make that investment, because we're not going to come along and be like, sure, turn it off. And then, then bookings are down, right? So we typically make a plan to safely take you off the OTAs. And what that means is we look at all your sources of traffic, we look at how they convert, and we look at how much revenue they drive. And then we say to ourselves, okay, I've got this much website traffic and revenue coming from the OTAs, and I want to replace that. So that means I'm sending more emails, I'm doing more pay-per-click, I'm doing, something more to replace the traffic that I've lost. And then you can safely. At one point, our reports for a few years when we were active on VRBO, heavily active, that VRBO would always be the third source of our bookings after repeat guests and after our website. Okay. And so they were ahead of any other marketing sources that we, things that we did, but behind repeat guests and our website, just if that helps at all to know. Yeah, typically what we like to see is the number one source of traffic is organic, meaning traffic coming from Google. Usually direct traffic comes next. Typically third is pay-per-click. So that's how we see it. So having the OTA be your third source of traffic and then turning that off without a plan to replace that traffic, I imagine has taken its toll. But there's a way out of it. So for these guys right here, he came with his plan. We didn't pull him off the OTAs immediately, but we did eventually pull him off. And for this customer story, in 8 months, we reduced their dependency on the OTAs by 51%, and we grew their revenue by 22%. So we're really proud of those results and feel really good about it because they are small with only 30 properties. So just kind of wanted you to see, we're very revenue focused and very customer centric in our approaches. And so our conversations start with how are we doing with revenue. When we look at where should we spend our marketing resources dollars, it's going to be in the areas that has the best conversion, that drives the most revenue. And that's why we're in Google Analytics all the time. I hope that helps.
Yeah, it is.
I'm actually trying to look for. So we talked about you want to get more website traffic and you want to grow your revenue. So the way you need to do that is, we know that Google organic traffic is what converts the best. You see it over and over again with all of our customers. So the way to drive that traffic is with SEO and a content strategy. So you mentioned that you were paying somebody for SEO. Tell me more about what they were doing, and were they only doing SEO, or were they doing other things for you too?
Our current, the people who are managing our website and our marketing, sort of online marketing, you're asking what they're doing for us?
Yeah, you said that you're investing in SEO.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blue Tent.
yeah,
We're
that's
paying
Blue
Blue Tent monthly to manage our pay-per-click campaigns, our Facebook campaigns. They're also doing out a number of email blasts for us. So we have been working with them, and previously it was VDS, and then it became Blue Tent maybe 6 months or so ago.
At 6 months, you joined them?
Well, we've been with them. We've been with VDS for going on probably 3 years, I would say, at least 2. And
yeah.
And,
VDS was your website provider?
Yes.
Yeah, Blue Tent bought VDS, Visual Data Systems,
Okay.
and we
Got
just played with them to Blue Tent.
But not only had they developed and done our website, but they were handling all of our marketing on the internet.
Right.
Okay. And it's what I'm hearing you say is you're not sure if that the SEO is working, and you're not sure that the pay-per-click
I felt like we had really good results while it was still VDS, but since the conversion to Blue Tent, I don't feel like it's been as good. And when I'm speaking with someone, Anne Marie, I can't communicate with them like I'm communicating with you right now. I just can't even understand half of what they're saying. I think they're probably 22 years old and talking to me on the cell phone from somewhere, and it's not the best reception, and I'm not happy.
And it just feels like they're sort of giving us canned messages and not really thinking about our company, where we are, things that are specific to us. If we feel like we get a lot of canned information.
Yes, we do. And I don't think that they are really understanding the dynamic of our business specifically when it comes to revenue, because they're looking at, hey, you've had 7% more hits online or whatever else, they've been staying longer, and you've booked, whatever. Again, just an example that I can think of is last month at our monthly meeting that we have with them, really it was something to the effect that we had gone up in revenue, where the bookings that they had driven to us was about $16,000 worth of bookings, which again breaks down to not a whole lot when you take out, when it's our commission that's involved in it. And we're paying for the marketing campaign, in addition to the pay-per-click, in addition to the email blast, and I'm in the whole $1,500 based on what I'm seeing with them each month easily.
That's got to be very frustrating, and it probably feels like you don't. How do you even fix it?
Right.
All right. Well, let me show you. This is one of our customers. They are in Nashville. They have been with us at least 3 years, past I think 3 years. This is do either of you get into Google Analytics very much yourselves, or you're relying on
every
the reports
month?
you get?
No, we don't actually get in them ourselves. I don't. Kerry, you may. But every month when we're going through these reports with, Blue Tent, we're looking at reports that are very similar in style and look to this. But we don't do it ourselves. No.
Got it. Okay. Well, this is Google Analytics. So, we create reports for our customers as well, because you want a total picture of your business. So what this shows you here is this revenue growth, which is terrific. It's direct bookings on their website went from 401,000 to 599 in the last 12 months. But that's just a direct booking. So no phone bookings, no, somebody, reserved their property for the same date the following year when they checked out, anything like that. That's not getting captured in this number. So when we do a report, we're pulling from Google Analytics so that we have all this, and so that it's really transparent to you, because this is your business and you deserve to know. Like, I talk to a lot of people and they'll say, I'm paying somebody to do this, but I don't know what they're doing, and I don't know if they're doing it well or if they're doing it right. And that kind of upsets me. I'm like, you should at least know what they're working on. So this can show you that, but one of the first things I look to is the e-commerce setup, and it is always for our customers because we know where it is. So everything that we do from a strategy and even monthly decision making is coming out of data. And when we say to you, where should we spend our marketing dollars, it should be in Google Organic, because out of the 78,000 visits that they enjoyed in the last 12 months, 56,000 of those came from organic. Conversion was 0.27, up from a year ago. Number of transactions is 179, and $319,000 out of the 600. So more than half of the revenue comes just from Google Organic. So you can start to see how it makes a lot of sense to pay attention to Google Organic, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got
And
your
I'm
direct,
not
which makes
without pulling one of these current, more recent reports to compare with this that you're showing me, as to where we are. I have no idea.
right. So yeah, if you're able to give me your Google Analytics next time we have this session, I'll be looking at yours.
Okay.
This is the direct. Somebody knows. It's Litchfield or Litchfield? How do I say it?
Litchfield. Yeah.
Litchfield. Thank you. So somebody knows your URL. That's what direct traffic is. Direct traffic is also if Google doesn't know where else to put it. So one of the other things that we work really hard on is making sure that everything is properly tagged, because if you don't have your emails tagged, then they don't show up as email, like here. And then you can't see how your email is performing. So anyways, we want direct to just be direct and have our data be as pure as possible. But this is driving quite a bit of revenue too. So like these first two are driving almost all of it. We're up to 542 out of 599. Bing Organic. Bing works really well in this space. It's older people tend to be on Bing, and people with money older people with money tend to be on Bing. And so you can see from a health, like there's not as much traffic, but they're on the site for 3.5 minutes versus 2.5 minutes for Google Organic. The conversion is 0.34% versus 0.27. And $10,000 came from Bing Organic. So one of the things that I would ask, and make a note of this for yourselves, whoever is managing your pay-per-click, if they're not doing Bing ads, then that's silly, because your Bing traffic is very healthy. And they should be. If you're already paying for pay-per-click, Bing should be part of that strategy. Do you happen to know if it is?
They have been doing some things with Bing, but over the last year, they've been telling us something similar to what you've said, as far as there's just less and less users that are on it. So I don't think they've been putting forth the effort into Bing as what they did in the past. But we agree, Bing certainly brings in an older, wealthier type consumer.
Okay. Yeah, and it needs to be proportionate. You don't need to put everything in Bing. Clearly, we've identified this is where the money is coming from, is up here. Right. But it is healthy traffic, and so it should be part of your integrated strategy. But I want to show you here. Okay, good. So you start to see email here, and I noticed that an email here. I'm not sure why it's in two places, but $16,000 plus another, so $17,000 coming from email in the last 12 months. Do you have any sense of knowing how much email is bringing to the bottom line for you?
Not without a printout of one of these reports, which I don't have any in front of me. They show us monthly what the email has generated for us. Again, I have not been real pleased personally with the response from the email, but there has been some, and there has been revenue that has been driven from email, just not a tremendous amount.
So I think where it starts to come away with is like, and Blue Tent can do this for you too, is just like start to benchmark. It'd be like, all right, typically we would expect to see this amount of traffic, this much revenue from email, and so on and so forth. So when I asked you that original question about did you build a plan for coming off the OTAs, let's just pretend that this customer who's getting $17,000 from email in a year, that they send one email a month. Let's just pretend that that's the case. Well, now I know I want to come off the OTAs, and I know that my conversion from email is 0.31%. So if I send 2 emails a month, what does that capture for me? Like, am I going to double this? And is this going to double as well? Because then I can say, yeah, I'll pull off the OTAs and I'll send twice as many emails. Or I'll do a little bit more on pay-per-click, or I'll pay for more referral traffic. But somehow or another, you got to look at all your sources of traffic and say, how is it performing? And do I have an ability to do it better or more of it to make up for what was coming from the OTAs? So that's how we safely take people off the OTAs. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. The other thing that I like to point out is that we do have Facebook is, people are always talking about social media. It is not one of the biggest drivers of revenue. It plays a big role in kind of trust building. In research, people will go to look at Facebook to make sure that you're not selling a property, and when they drive up, it's a pile of dirt. They want to see how are people interacting with you on Facebook. So it's important to be there. It's not always a huge driver of revenue, but we are able to get revenue out of Facebook, and not a lot of people do. So those would be things that I'd be interested in looking at. The other thing I'd be interested in looking at is if you have an agency who's doing this work for you, they should be having annotations about what it is that they're doing. So they increase their search duration to fix a landing page, and then updated Yoast settings, moved a blog menu underneath Nashville, moved FAQs underneath About Us. So like whatever things that we're doing, if we notice that there's a positive or negative impact, we're putting those notes in there. So you should be seeing things like that. But I just look at this healthy increase, though, of, you know, the last 12 months versus the 12 months prior. And this is a customer who's been with us 3 years. So it looked like last year was like dismal, but it wasn't. It was a big increase over the year before that as well. I can tell you that you don't see this in necessarily right in the first 6 months. It takes us some time to get some traction with our content strategy and our SEO. But what concerns me is if you are paying somebody to do SEO for you and you only have this much content on your homepage, that's a red flag for me.
Do you think there should be more content?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
More content
Yeah.
and specific content with adding South Carolina to Polygon and to Litchfield.
So as much as people don't read, we want more content.
Say that one more time, please.
You want to see more content. You're suggesting more content.
Yeah.
For people to have more to read.
On
yeah.
the front
So
page.
let's chat about that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different personalities.
You thought it just needed to be clean and crisp, basically, and without too much on the homepage. But you're saying Google's pulling from the homepage and directing pretty much anything else based on content that we have on that homepage. Is that correct?
Yeah, Google absolutely prioritizes content on the homepage more than it does other landing pages. And then, but like if you have pet-friendly properties, you want to have a pet-friendly page and you want Google to know about that page.
Sure.
Things along those lines. But so let's talk a little bit about clean and content and that people don't like to read. What we have found is that people don't like to read work emails, or they don't like to read work things, but they love to read when they're planning a vacation. So that's number one. Number two, especially in vacation rental space, let's just say it's me and I'm planning for me and my husband and, you know, another couple to go on a vacation. Well, now I got to like really think about it. Like, is this what I want? But then is this going to suit the needs of all these other people who are coming too? So I kind of got to, you know, think about each of the people going on this trip and make sure that there's something for all of them. So sometimes you really do need a lot of information. But we have these calls to action right up above, right at the top in case anybody's like, no, I just need to see the properties. Like, I don't need to read it. I know Polly's Island. I've been going there since I was 6. You know, whatever place we used to go to, we can't go anymore. So let me just take a look at and see what they have and where they have it. So we make it easy for them to go do that. But for the person who does need a little bit more information, then we're writing all about the area. We're writing about the type of rentals you have. We're writing about the property management that they offer. And we're designing it in a way so that it's really inviting and just makes you want to just keep scrolling. I love how we do this with our integration, in that you can just see how many it seats, how many bathrooms, how many it sleeps. These guys either don't have pet friendly or they haven't opted. You have a lot of flexibility in our website design. I think these guys have pet-friendly properties. That's why I want to show you, because I love that we have this paw print. It shows up. It's just cute. My Wi-Fi is super slow today. I'm sorry. So you can favorite some properties. We pay attention to Airbnb, and we pay attention to the different OTAs and how people are used to searching, and so that we're behaving the same way. And you can see the paw print for everything that's pet friendly. That's how we're doing it that way for these guys. The other thing I like to talk about is like intention behind our design. So when I asked you before, is revenue down or are leads down? And you said revenue was down. But sometimes, you know, just working leads is going to be a big opportunity. So what we do is offer lead generation on our websites. This is a vacation guide where we interview you to for everything about the area. What are the beaches nearby? What are the outdoor activities, museums, shopping, dining, whatever, hiking if there is anything along those lines. So this is for a person when there's 5 stages of travel. It's dreaming, planning, booking, experiencing, and remembering. Typically, the person who lands on this page is going to be in the dreaming or planning phase. If they're ready to book, they're not going to go, download a vacation guide. They're just going to book and plan to go. But these guys there's some reason why they're not ready to book. It could be that they don't know what the size of their bonus or what their dates of travel are. They're just not ready, but they're excited about it. They're excited about the destination, and they want to gather some information. So when they land on this page, I know all that about them. And so I'm designing this page with that in mind. So there is no book now. There's no primary navigation. There's no calls to action on the side. There's only one thing to do on this page, and that's to fill out this form, because that's what I want. I know you're not ready to book. I want to get your email address. I want to turn you from an unknown visitor to a known visitor, and I'm going to nurture you with emails to try and get that booking. So what will happen is when they fill out this form, immediately they'll get the vacation guide delivered to their email inbox via marketing automation software. And they'll be like, wow, that's great. This is a really helpful guide. But then they also get dropped into a nurture campaign where they'll get 3 more emails over a period of 10 days. And those 3 emails, we would work with you and collaborate to find out what exactly we should be telling them in them. Like when you said somebody needs to know our area, what are the questions that you get when people get on the phone with you? And so what we want to do in this nurture campaign is be super helpful. We want to start the relationship digitally. We want to anticipate their questions and provide them with the information they're looking for. So as just a general, the first email in the nurture would be, here's what's happening in our area over the next 3 months. The next one is, here are the amenities you can enjoy in our amazing property.
You interviewed us in order to determine what to place in that in kind of a drip campaign?
Yes, absolutely. We want strong collaboration with you on that. And we pay attention to how these autoresponders are performing. And if they're not meeting our benchmarks, we're going to come back and be like, we got to try something different. But then the third and final email would be, don't wait another day to book your Pawleys Island vacation. Check out our properties today. What we have found is that 1% of your website visitors will download this vacation guide. And of that 1%, 20% will book. But to me, there's a lot that works really well about this. This is also, somebody filling out this form is actually good for your SEO. It's a quality indicator to Google that somebody navigated in your website to this page and gave their personal information to you. It's also growing your email database. And they're conservatively saying that an email is worth $7 to a company. We think it's worth probably more in the travel industry. But even take it at $7, we're growing your database. We're nurturing these folks. And maybe we get them this year, or maybe because they were going with another couple and the other couple won and they decided to go to the mountains instead of the beach. This person doing this research now is in your eBlast campaign. And it's like, I really like that place. I want to go there next year. So you could still get the booking from these guys. So it's very effective, I think, but I also think it shows our intention behind website design and what we know about people when they land on a certain page. So another quick thing that I can show you, and I need to do a time check. I'm fine up to 11. Are you?
Yes.
Okay. When we design our blog pages, so our blog is a very big part of our strategy. And is there somebody writing a blog for you?
They do some blogging through Bluetown.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one here, on site or anything.
Okay. I just wanted to look at the blog, so. Oh, you have a vacation planner. Tell me about this.
So that is for our guests, and we don't know a whole lot about it, quite honestly.
It's where they can invite family and friends to log in to see that where one person might be sort of collecting various homes that they might consider renting, and then they can decide together, and they sign in one place, sort of look at the same thing that somebody else is looking at.
I see. Okay, so this isn't lead generation. This is a tool for helping to plan the vacation.
Family members and friends sign in. We capture their email addresses for eBlast.
Okay. All right. Let's see. What the heck just happened? All right. What's your URL?
LitchfieldRealEstate.com.
Okay. I just wanted to check one. So there's your pay-per-click. It's an ad that you're doing on yourself. You have, here's another thing for SEO. You only have 18 reviews on Google. You want, it's a SEO milestone to have 50 or more. So you want part of your strategy to grow these reviews. All right, so I was still trying to figure out where this blog is, which it's fine that I can't find the blog, because the purpose of the blog really is to drive people to your website, not necessarily as nice reading for people when they've already found you. I just want to look at the blog and see, are they long enough? You know, do they have inbound, outbound links?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So see how you have all this browse by category? This is like a default setting on WordPress most of the time. We don't think that this works hard for, so this is one blog post, and it's about planning your okay. So these are all blogs?
Was it March of 19? Am I seeing that right, when that blog was done?
Yeah, that says March 4th, 2019.
Yeah, March 4th. So I'm just trying to, how do I get to another post, view archive post?
I think they only just recently started putting some effort on that. Most of the posts are very old.
Okay. All right, well, let me just show you how we do it on ours. We do showcase, it's up to you whether you do it or not, so I don't know if this customer chose to do it or not. They did. This is, you know, you can see the blog post, so let's just take a look at this. The blog posts are all long tail keyword focused. So the first thing we do is we identify long tail keywords, and we go into the keyword planner tool to see, is there search traffic on this term? Does it meet our criteria that it's relevant to the destination and it's within the right drive distance, and it's relevant to the type of guest you're looking to attract? Like, these guys are looking for luxury guests. So we identify the long tail keyword. We look to see when that search traffic is going to peak, and we slot this in 2 months prior to when the search traffic will peak. Then we write the blog. When we go to do that, the first thing we do is look to see who's already ranking for this long tail keyword. And then it's our job to write a better answer to the question so that Google will put us on page 1 or put us at the top of page 1. The other thing that we do is make sure that we optimize this post for the keyword. So it's here in the URL, it's up here in the tab, it's in the H1. I know I'm starting to use some jargon. Sorry, Henry. It's the alt tag. Okay, it's the alt tag on this image, and it's several times throughout the body and in the meta description and in the slug. So we do that for every post that we write. So Google's like, okay, I know that there's fresh new content about the top 12 summer things to do in Aspen. So that's how we write it. But then look at how we're designed, how we've got the sidebar. So let's think again about our person and why they land on this page. So for us, we know that people will research a destination before they research accommodations. So somebody was considering Aspen, wanted to know the top things to do, somehow landed on this blog. They weren't looking for a vacation rental. They just were looking for an answer to their question. Get the picture, this looks like Snowmass. Okay, I've got the visual cue, this is right. Getting my answer, it's a good answer to the question. And then we're like, hey, there's so much to see and do here. You're going to want to stay for, you know, a couple of days. You're going to need a place to stay. And so then let our concierge plan for you and book your summer getaway. So all of our blog posts pivot to, you know, start thinking about accommodations. And then within the blog post, we are driving people inbound and outbound links. This is actually going to another blog about whitewater rafting. It's an inbound link. This one is a Colorado.com outbound link. That's healthy for SEO, that Google says that if you're linking to reputable websites, then you must be a reputable website. So that's why we use inbound and outbound links. But we design over here to just keep driving people deeper into the website, get them to look at your vacation rentals. So in this instance, for our customers, 30% of the people who visit the website for the very first time visit through a blog post, not through the homepage. That's another reason why we designed it this way. This is their first introduction to your company, and so we kind of designed it as a side door. Are you with me?
Yeah. So what we currently have is just a list of whatever, no pictures, no nothing, trying to drive them on in, right?
Right, and let's see. So they are interlinking to your properties. This is all interlinking so far. I'm not seeing any outbound links. And I'm guessing the word count is probably a little light. This looks more like 300 to 400 words. We like to see them be 500 to 700. And the reason why that is we used to rate blogs that were about 300 words, and they performed well. And then we started seeing it fall off and realized that we needed to add more content to it in order for it to continue to be effective. So that's something that we're paying attention to, and that's why we use the word count we do, because we're expecting a certain amount of results. So I hope that you're getting that sense from us, is that we're not order takers. We're data driven. We let the data tell us what we need to be doing. We've got the data from your Google Analytics and the industry-wide data that we know just from being industry partners, as well as everything from our own customers. How should all this be performing? I don't expect, social media or email to perform as well as Google, but it does need to perform at the level I expect, and that's what we're watching for. And the expectation is that when we come on board with somebody, we are where we are. We set our baseline. And then the expectation is, all right, emails should start performing well. Social media right away. Lead generation should be working right away. The SEO and the content strategy is going to take a little bit of time. And we know that, but we expect month over month incremental improvements. And then right around between months 6 and 8, that's when we expect to really see that hockey stick in growth, because now all of our integrated strategies are starting to work together. So I've been talking a lot. How's all this sound to you?
Interesting. And Stoney is also here now too. So Anne Marie, Stoney, Anne Marie.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hello. So who would be doing, would you be doing it, or are you strictly in sales?
Me personally, no, I'm not the one doing it, and you don't want me doing it. We have 50 employees here in our offices in Charleston, and 15 of them are content writers. They're journalists or English majors who we have trained in SEO. We have about 20 customer success managers. We have a development team, front-end, back-end, website development, pay-per-click experts, SEO experts, and analytical reporting experts, and then we have our sales team. So that's how we're broken up about things. I'm still very much always can be a point of contact for you. So if you're on the phone and saying, I like this woman, but what if I don't like who's assigned to me? You can always call me back. But we're pretty thoughtful about who we assign people to anyway. We start to think about, like, are you more data? Are you more visual? Do you want more creativity? Like, what is it that you feel like you need? And then we make sure that we pair you with somebody that we think is strong in all. I mean, everybody has to be strong in all of it, but we do try to be thoughtful about how we pair our staff with our customers. Does that help answer your question?
Your staff are actually in Charleston.
100%. Well, that's not true. We have one of our first employees refuses to move down here. He's our director of development, and he's in Pennsylvania. He's the only one who's not here.
Okay.
One of the things that
but he comes down every month.
They're specifically revenue driven, as far as working with us to get our revenue up, which is something I thought was nice to hear.
something else that I can show you is that the marketing plan that we developed for you is something that you can turn around and share with prospective homeowners and say, hey, most vacation rental people are going to say, we're going to run pay-per-click. You can come back to them and say, we have an integrated strategy. Here it is. We're writing content on long-tail keywords. We're sending these emails. We're doing lead generation. We're doing this on social media. This is how we're going to make ourselves the expert on the destination in the eyes of Google, and that's how we're going to get your occupancy where you want it. So really, you could just turn around and flip a document that we present to you. So what we do is every quarter, we go over our strategy for the upcoming quarter. So we're at right now, we're probably starting to build those for our customers to present them at the end of May, so that in June we're ready to go. You have the chance to collaborate with us on this, and we build the whole strategy based on the goals that you give us and based on what we see from the data. But you can come back to us and say, I don't like that you wrote on this, I don't like this keyword you want to write on. Or I think that's a good idea for an email, but not this month. I think I want to see something more about fall vacations right now, something along those lines. You might have a reason why you want to go in a different direction. So we go over the strategy together. When it's agreed upon and approved, we've got our marching orders. You get to focus on your business. We focus on delivering on the strategy and reporting against it every month. And then kind of course correcting as we do. So as we start to get data every month, we say, hey, this is interesting. I'd like to do an A/B test on our emails because I don't like how this is performing. Or this is doing great. You're getting great referral traffic from this website, and I went and looked at it, and I don't think you look as good as the other people on it. So maybe you want to go back there and update your picture and rewrite the blurb you have on it because it's quality traffic, and I think we have a chance to grow it. So we're kind of business development partners in that regard too.
So one thing, let me ask you a question as far as like website design and website enhancement. With the site that we currently have, you initially said right out the gate that the home page was lacking some things and kind of told us what they were. Is that something that you would just be able to go in and address, or is that something we would have to be redesigning and recreating a whole new website?
The answer is a little bit of both. Now, we would not take responsibility for your website at the back end of it. We didn't build it. We don't know how good or bad it is. So no, there's some things. We would go in and write your blog posts. We would go in and do your SEO audit, things along those lines, but we're not going to mess with the code on your existing website. So what you would do here is if you said, we just spent on this website and I don't want to build another one yet, we would come back to you and make recommendations on what we think your website should, how things should look. You go back to your website provider and ask them to make those changes. Typically, there's a price tag with that. And oftentimes that price tag could be pretty close to what it would cost for you to come on board with a new website for us, or at least for the setup fee. So as we're looking at our websites, ours are all built on WordPress. So, all right, let me stay focused. I would not nurture the code on your website, but I would give you direction on what to do to make it better if you want to stay on that, and I can still do your marketing. I can drive faster and bigger results if I do your website and your marketing. Typically, website design has a shelf life of 3 years, and your website is 3 years old. What we do for our customers is when we build a website for them, we have a subscription pricing, and in that, you get a new every 3 guarantee where we're refreshing the design every 3 years. We're also nurturing the HTML code on our website on a regular basis. So what's different about us is we've built a platform for all our vacation rental websites. That allows me to keep your website future-proof by nurturing the code on the platform, and every website that lives on the platform enjoys that update. So sometimes WordPress will often WordPress has updates, plugins have updates. Well, those things can break the code on your website. It happens all the time. So what we do is we accept the update in a test environment, and we look to see if it breaks any of the code on our platform, and if it does, we go into the platform, we fix it, and then we accept the WordPress update on the platform, and then you don't miss a beat. New mobile devices come out. Yes, we're mobile responsive, and that's the way it is, but you still have to set the dimensions in the back end. So we set the dimensions on the back end at the platform. Everybody on the website enjoys it. That's how your website stays future-proof. So we have a lot to offer. It's a $2,500 setup fee for a website from us, and $500 a month for the life of our partnership. But with that, you get this continually nurtured HTML code, a website designed to convert. It's built as a marketing platform with that blog page design and the vacation guide design and all those things. And then you get a refresh design every 3 years. Also comes with 1 hour of customer support a month. So that's just our website. Our marketing has separate packages, and I think what I'd love to do is get access to your Google Analytics, take a look and see, you know, and I'd love to actually also look at your pay-per-click, because what I typically find there is, so Stoney, this is just one of our customers and their Google Analytics year over year for a 12-month period, and you can start to see how they're enjoying great growth, and this is their 3rd year with us and growing strong revenue, driven mostly by Google Organic, and they're in Nashville.
Okay. Do you do anybody local to us?
We are in Kiowa. I don't think we have anybody on Polly's, but I'm not 100% sure. I can confirm for you.
Okay.
Is there a reason why that would be a problem?
No, just like to look and see, you know, like to look at some of the others, and maybe y'all went over that earlier, so I don't have to repeat. But maybe
well, this kind of shows. This kind of shows how we can tell our, you know, the look and feel and the, you know, this is very high end, big properties, very luxurious for this customer. You know, this is families, and these are condos, and they're all about the service that they provide, their concierge services. I like to show you this one. This guy just signed with us. This is his existing website. So this kind of shows a before and after. And you can start to see how he, too, had, like, all the icons. It was the style that, you know, when he had this website built. These pictures are really small. I mean, it's not a terrible website, but this is what we were pitching for him. This is the dev site that we built. So you can see there's big, beautiful images. We're really showcasing these properties. There's, you know, the content is there. And the pictures aren't even necessarily all that different from what he had in there, but they're bigger. And then we've got this strong book directly with us message, big pictures for feature properties, show the destination in Park City. That's so pretty. I love that picture. And then our blog, and then our unified, nice clean footer. So I think it's fun to see a before and after, because it's hard to imagine where you are. Yeah. But when we look at yours, it's pretty short for content. How do I get to the homepage again? This isn't the homepage, is it?
That's the primary homepage.
Okay. Yeah, I do think that we need to work on your sitemap, and we'd be in a. I personally am not in a good position to tell you exactly how to lay it out, but we've got people who are in a good position to do it because we've done it.
You said you do Kiowa. Is there a particular company in Kiowa you do, or is it the resort?
Pam Harrington.
Okay.
And Pam Harrington has been working with us on her new every 3 guarantee, and every time I ask, I'm like, has she approved it yet? Has she approved it yet? So I don't know if we've gone live yet with hers. No, this is an older design. And this I don't think was done by us. Let's just see if I can do really quickly. So this is a dev site that we built for her, and I know she's very close to approving it. But can you feel the difference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I feel like, I mean, I'm just curious. You want to just keep scrolling down. It's beautiful pictures and it's great information. makes you curious about other things, to be like, oh yeah, I do want to know more about the area, or about, how they're going to help me, what kind of service I can expect from a vacation rental company. So that's a kind of close to local example for you. So do you want to look at calendars and see about us doing a Google Analytics review, and then I can present to you packages for our marketing?
So in order to, I'm just kind of filling in something. In order for her to actually really kind of look into anything, she's got to have access to our Google Analytics. She says everybody does it all the time. For her to get in and look at it, we have to give her our code in order for that to happen. And then she can actually see where we were and give us some more detailed information. We're with it. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'll send, Kerry, I'll send you instructions on how to add me to Google Analytics. And what's your calendar look like? I mean, I can even meet tomorrow if you want. Tomorrow, I'm kind of booked up on Thursday, but I can do something in the afternoon Thursday.
How about, you want to do it first of the week? We'd rather do it first of next week.
Okay, on the 13th? Okay, is there a time that's good for you?
Same time, it's good with me.
Is that a Monday or Tuesday, the 13th?
That's a Monday.
Yeah, it needs to be that for me. So 10 a.m. on, any chance I could do 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. So I'll also send a calendar invite. So I know to send it to Kerry. Who else should I send it to?
To me, Stoney, it's eaststone@litchfieldrealestate.com.
Do you want to,
Eaststone.
I can manage the invite and
Sure.
just have
Yeah,
us
yeah,
meet
no,
in the same room?
yeah, you just do it. I
Just
just
so
want
you
to
don't
make sure.
a million.
I apologize for this morning.
If you give it to me, I'll make sure to give them a reminder for the Monday meeting at 11 a.m.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you feel about how today went?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I appreciate you taking the time. Again, if I could communicate with someone like you who can communicate directly to me, I would feel much better.
Yeah, well, it's nice that it's not often that an older woman gets that it's good to be an older woman, right?
Yeah, right.
But, I do spend a lot of time even with, that is an important thing, and it was a nice compliment that you gave us. And we think that happens a lot in the industry, where people kind of use a lot of jargon and are like, don't worry your pretty little head about it, I've got it. That's not how we approach things. The founder of our company, Matt, he sold his first company when he graduated college, like on college graduation weekend. Started volunteering with people from a digital marketing standpoint, just helping give people guidance, and started seeing that people were getting bad service from agencies. And he said, I want to open a reputable agency. But more importantly, Matt and Henry, you met him. I don't know if you had this sense of him or not, but Matt is like accomplished guy. He achieves his goals. He's a runner, and he doesn't just run the event. He comes in first, well, not so much lately because he's older and has little kids, but he's a small business owner. He's an entrepreneur. And so the way he built this business is like, I want to deliver what I expect if I hire somebody. And I expect transparency, and I expect somebody to respect that I'm a good business person and I'm smart and I can make decisions even if I don't know the ins and outs of your industry, of like your specialty. That's fine. It should still make sense to me to decide yes or no if I want to go in this direction. So that's how we operate.
Yeah, that's good. It's appreciated.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, you'll get a couple things from me. I'll send you an email with a couple of links to some of these websites that I've been showing you, and instructions on how to add me to Google Analytics, and I will send you a calendar invitation. And let's connect on Monday.
All right.
Perfect.
Good.
Thank you, Anne Marie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a great weekend,
Have a good
guys.
day.
All right,
bye-bye.
bye.